Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, it's Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield. I'm joined remotely by my good buddy, Mike Regalado, who's on the, does it have a name yet? The site on the 24/7 Sports Network. What's the site name?
Bruin 24/7.
Bruin 24/7.
Jake, are you Bruin 24/7? Are you a Bruin 24/7?
I think I am. I'm pretty sure I am, except for the part of the time when I'm a bear because of Megan. So whatever.
That's true.
I guess
that's
I'm a gaucho a little bit too. I guess I could be all three things at once. But Mike Regalado is with us, and Mike, how is the new workflow going at Bruin 24/7?
Good. It's getting used to a new crew, but they are freaking amazing. We got Connor Morissette, Jack Savage, and Chris Johnson, who are all killing it. Now I'm doing the same thing that I've done all the time in the last 6 years, doing the exact same thing. But getting a different perspective on stuff, working with guys who are kind of thinking outside the box with content. Since we started, I think we've had three games in which Bruin 24/7 attended, and Connor has started doing this Bruin breakdown, which is basically like if you're on the Twitters and you know me, I do my 2-minute drill. Well, this is an extended version of that, going into detail about what happened in each game. So the first one was at the women's basketball game at USC. Then Chris and Connor did. Who they played Tuesday? The last team they played Tuesday, Nebraska, and then once again at USC. So stuff like that that the Bruin 24/7 site is doing. It's just this site has hit the ground running.
Good.
Just from a guy who's like small potatoes. Wondering how this would be. Well, got some heavy hitters up in here. So this thing has not skipped a beat. So it's been pretty fun.
Excellent. I'm glad you're having a good time. So, it's the What's Bruin Show, the What's Bruin Show network. I'm going to post a Jamaal's West Coast bias here in a few minutes. So we got that going for us. And, on the Twitter. And
you're just all about the West Coast bias. You don't like the East Coast.
There's the West Coast bias. And on Twitter, X, whatever, at What's Bruin Show. Emails what'sbruinshow@gmail.com. We got stuff going on, whatever. And the hotline, 805-399-4WBS. I do have a call.
Sacramento,
Troy, yeah. They're into their house in the South Bay now. I believe Michael just cooked up about 17 pounds of carne asada. So he's got that going for him. So good for him.
Nice.
Yeah. So with that being said, yeah, we have the hotline, 805-399-4WBS, second reign of Troy. Thank you for calling. And I think Nancy called in with a call, so let's see what she had. Oh, I got a couple calls here. Let's play the first one. This is Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, guys. It's friend of the show, Nancy, calling to say that today's championship game was unbelievable. Our ladies decimated Iowa, winning by, nearly 52 points.
And we'll get to that.
I think they're on a roll. They're playing the best basketball, male or female, that I have seen in my 55 years as a UCLA graduate. So I wanted to hear what you guys thought and who you thought were the most important players. I think Sienna Betts is coming out, and I think she's going to turn out being incredibly important as we head through March, as well as Lena Billups. So let me know, and Carrie and I are all geared up to be What's Bruin Show reporters at the Elite Eight. Bye-bye.
That's outstanding. Cool. Bye-bye. Mike, what do you think about Nancy's question? Who are going to be the big contributors?
Yeah, I'm coming up. Want the world to know. Sienna Betts, she was injured. She didn't play the first 10 games, so it took her a while to
Straight ball.
get in the flow. You get her body in shape and really start to play physical. And we've really seen that over the last month, and especially in this tournament over the last this past weekend. Came out and balled out when other players were not able to get baskets. And then you have Lena Bilic, who has all season long has been pretty freaking consistent. She doesn't have a lot of minutes, but she is really putting in the time when she is on the court. So both of them next year, especially because the Bruins are losing several players, that's going to be a good continuity. But just really, really good support from the bench over the weekend. And 51 points in a championship game. This team is rolling.
It's pretty outstanding, and I just want to see them keep it rolling into the NCAA tournament. It's great. They didn't let down at all, and here we go. Because Mike is firmly in the camp of championship game or bust, and you want him to win the championship. That's what you're looking at, right?
Yes.
But I think anything less than the championship game is going to be a disappointment for this team, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but we still have one other call to get to, and let's see what this is all about.
Is this Leo? I think he hit me up saying he was going to call. So.
Pretty sure it's Leo. Yeah. 2 minutes of fury from Leo from Long Beach.
Hey, friends.
Do it.
Leo from Long Beach.
Hi, Leo.
It's been a while, but looking forward to leaving this message. First, excited with Coach Chesney and
Straight
all
ball.
of his appearances, different Olympic sports and the basketball games. He's definitely very excited to be at UCLA, and as fans, we need to keep supporting him. Second, move on to men's basketball with Cronin. I don't know, I'm kind of getting Lavin feel like he'll do okay in the season and then at the end starts getting hot. So not too excited about our men's basketball with this up and down season. But hey, they're trending up, so good for them. Also, for the women's games, very, very cool to see them do great in like a 24 or 25 game winning streak. Mike, I see him fighting off the UConn people on Twitter or X. Good job.
Oh
Mike.
my God, they're dicks.
And I hope to catch the women in Sacramento or Phoenix, but definitely in Poly Pavilion when they host the first and second round. And last, this weekend, I will be heading out to Hawaii. Spouse has a trip out there for work. And number one men's volleyball faces Hawaii in Honolulu. So I'll be out there supporting our Bruins. I keep messaging men's volleyball to move me to the parent section or to the UCLA section because I know it's a sold-out game. And anytime the Rainbow Warriors face our Bruins, they put up a good fight. So I hope to catch a W in Hawaii. And go Bruins. Thanks for taking my call. Bye, guys.
Man, Leo, thank you very much. Mike, Leo said something that I hadn't really thought about yet, but now that he says it, it does kind of ring true. And that is, I've never thought about Cronin as the, another version of Lavin. I've always thought of him as another version of Howland. You like two defensive-minded guys, kind of chap asses, and then, has it run its course? Did they kind of sell their soul for a different kind of basketball? Like, that's always the paradigm or the template I've been putting on Cronin's career was the Howland one, right? But when Leo brings it up with the Lavin thing, it's like, well, that's there too. Cronin has bottomed out, underperformed by a lot of expectations, and then kind of saved his bacon a little bit, at least with one of these tournament runs. Obviously he had the very nice start at the beginning to build up a lot of equity with players and fans and reputation. But the Lavin analogy, like, I haven't looked at the different records yet, but off the top of my head, I'm like, that's kind of getting more and more true as we go. What do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, and it's weird. Just as you said that, wouldn't that be the worst combination of being late Howland and Lavin? Like, as you said, defensive-minded coach. Things aren't working out the greatest in the last few seasons. But when you think about Lavin, yeah, exactly. The fact that he did well in the season, but when it comes to the postseason, not that great. And so, like, honestly, let's just hope it's none of that. I still have thoughts about where this program is going otherwise, but I mean, you can't deny what they're doing. It's unfortunate. It's been too late in the season. I wouldn't say too late. It'd be too late if they like fizzle out in both the conference and NCAA tournament. But they've been kicking some butt, and they've actually broke that pattern that I talked about a few weeks ago. Basically the last month, where they don't do so well. Middle of the conference season, they start kicking butt, and then they start losing again. Well, they're doing pretty damn good. Aside from that Minnesota loss, what are they? I think 4 wins in 5 games. They come back and beat ranked Nebraska, and then go to USC. And yes, it's a road game, but technically, it's a home game. There are a lot of Bruin fans there. It's what 11 miles across town. And UCLA just utterly destroyed USC. But it's good because you can finally see what this team is doing with Donovan Dent finally showing up. Better late than never, I guess. But is this going to be consistent going into the conference tournament, or are we going to have another situation in which UCLA loses in their first game of the tournament? And we're going to get into that breakdown soon. But yeah, let's hope it's not a Howland Lavin combo. So that'd probably be the worst, the ultimate bad luck here. But hey, they're doing well, and they do have a daunting path ahead of them, but they're looking good right now.
I will say this, and now that Leo brings it up, I just did some very quick, didn't tabulate this myself. I literally just plugged it into my best friend ChatGPT, and I came up with this, though, with the Lavin v. Cronin comparison. Number one, at this point, both these guys have about 7 seasons in, okay? The records, Mike. 145 and 78 for our guy Steve Lavin, former guest of the show, friend of the What's Bruin Show. 145 and 78. Mick Cronin in that span, 155 and 73. And these are all unverified guys. Don't attack me, bro, because this is quick ChatGPT research, which I know can be flawed, but just off the top of my head, that's like about the same. Okay. Then the other interesting thing about here is check this out, Mike. You talk about the appearances in the tourney. Okay. Mick Cronin's got a Final Four. Lavin's got a Elite Eight. Okay. Cronin wins there, but it's close. But then again, Mick Cronin's got a round of 32 finish, and Lavin's got an extra 16 there. Can I say something? Then they both have 2 other Sweet 16s. And then Lavin's got a Sweet 16 when Cronin got canceled by COVID. And then they both missed a tournament once. So it's like remarkably similar. Wow. And I'm just going to do another Mike Vamp. What do you think about that? Give me like 30 seconds while I plug in one more cheaty chat GPT question, because now
were you going to look at
activated. I'm going to look at Allen. Hold on.
Howland was 233 and 107, 68.5% win percentage.
Okay, and how many seasons was he there?
What do we got? 1,
Good
2,
job, Mike,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons. So he had 3 more.
Yeah, but the record's about the same. So give me the tournaments then. 3 Final Fours, obviously.
So, obviously, 3 Final Fours, 1 championship game. 5, 6, 7 seasons out of 10, he made the tournament, meaning he missed it 3 times. Okay. He basically made the tournament only twice in his last 4 seasons.
But okay, so then though he missed the tournament 3 times. He went to the Final Four plus championship game. Yeah. That was 3 times. So the 4 other tournament appearances, what were they?
Well, in the second season, round of 64. Round of 32 that was 4 years later, the year after the last Final Four. 2 years after that, round of 32. 2 years after that, in his final season, round of 64. So in those 4 non-Final Four,
not great,
postseason NCAA tournaments, He did not get past the first weekend.
But I'll tell you this though, I mean,
Uh-huh.
Ben Howland. Yeah, what's the? His PMS quote is my bad. I still love Ben Howland to this day, and Ben Howland still loves UCLA. I think, even though he was dismissed, he lost his way. I'll still maintain that Ben Howland lost his way as the UCLA coach, like selling out for pieces of human garbage like Reeves Nelson. But when he was operating at a very high level, and those 3 Final Fours are nothing to sneeze at. And even though that was a core of the same core going through all that way, in a similar way to what Cronin had with his big core, like the proof's in the pudding there as far as like Howland producing. He didn't ever win the title, but 2 Final Fours in a championship game versus Mix 1 Final Four. Right? I mean, it was, yeah. So I mean, this is crazy, Leo, but I kind of like your Lavin comparison, bro. And I'm gonna have to look at this through a different lens going forward, because I've been looking at it with a very charitable lens, and everybody around me is like, "Oh, I'm done with Cronin." Like Mike's been done with Cronin since like 2000 and since like 2022. But it's okay.
I had a friend say when and look, if he can pull it together and bring it back, hey, I'm on it. I'm just seeing the tea leaves. I'm seeing the writing on the wall. This isn't going great. 3 straight years that you're not even a contender for the Big Ten, let alone the national championship. That's my concern. But a friend asked, so when did he lose you? I'm like, pretty much when he benched Alain Fabiu, the French player 2 years ago. That was the best rebounder. That's when he lost me. Then you lose Berkey at the end of that season. Then the following season, you lose a Daimara. So you can't lose players like that. You got to work with them. And who knows how they're like in practice. But if you got talent, you got to find a way to use it.
Yeah, and here, let's play this real quick, because we morphed from Leo and Nancy's call just into basketball talk, of course. We're just not going to break this up anymore. But
yeah.
Basketball.
I'm really excited for Nancy and Carrie to be our correspondents for women's basketball, but I didn't think I was going to get this excited about basketball. And then Leo called and gave me that Lavin Cronin thing. And now, like, I can't not see it. So obviously I'm hoping for the best for men's basketball. I absolutely am. But if Cronin does one of these like rebounds just to get, a little decent tournament run, and then next year it's the same thing, what I'm saying is, like, this is the comparison going forward. And thank you, Leo, for that. Mike, what are we looking at for the men in the NCAA tournament at this point? We still have to do the Big Ten tournament, yes?
Yes, and let me just do a quick preview of that, because this is absolutely love tournament season. A lot of people knew that when I started covering sports, I used the name the Big Disco. Well, that was derivative from the Big Dance. From Gojo Bruin. So the Big Dance, one of my favorite times of year, and it does technically start with the conference championships, because the next week you're in the NCAA tournament. So really quickly, bracket fever is nuts. Like, I love these stupid long ass brackets that everybody has, and the Big Ten is no different. This year is the first time they are having 18 teams rather than 15, I believe it was. And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This tournament is almost a week long. It's insane. It started today with Maryland and Oregon. Oregon, just horrible. And apparently there are rumblings that their coach, whose name I'm blanking on right now, is might be moving on. But and probably a good time for that as well.
Yeah.
You had Penn State and Northwestern in the other game. Northwestern pulled it out late, 76-66. Maryland took down Oregon 70-60. Wow, both games won by 10 points. So they go into the next round, but Maryland now takes on Iowa in the first game. After that is USC and Washington. Wow, same setup as the women's bracket. Northwestern then takes on Indiana, and in the final game, Rutgers and Minnesota. And why that one is important is because the winner of Rutgers Minnesota takes on UCLA on Thursday evening. And that's going to be interesting to see because UCLA beat Rutgers, but they lost to Minnesota away from Pauley Pavilion. And that's what I want to see, how UCLA performs, not just if they get the win, but overall, how do they perform in that game? Because they are not good away from Pauley. They, what I think it's like 17-1 at home this season, but they're 4-9 away from Pauley Pavilion, both on the road and neutral site games. So yeah, UCLA, if they're really going to get it together, then they need to show out whoever they play. But that's only if by chance they make it to the championship game, they have 3 games after that, or 2 games after that, and then the championship game. So despite the fact that they have a double bye and they missed the first 2 days, yeah, there's still 4 days of games. So UCLA has to put in complete and total effort. Can they win 4 games in a row? We'll see, because Michigan, Illinois, Nebraska, and Michigan State, UCLA went 2-2 against those. They have the triple bye, so they don't even play until Friday.
Correct.
So can UCLA get past Michigan State? Can they beat Nebraska again, potentially? Can they, if let's say they go to the championship game, will probably face Michigan. Are they going to get beat down again? This is going to be a really interesting tournament. If they go down in the first game, I'll even say the second game. If they go down in the second game, that's really going to affect their NCAA seeding, which they're better. After the last 2 weeks, they've definitely come off the bubble, and it seems like they've secured maybe a 6, 7, or 8 seed. You want to get as high as possible and get the more advantageous seeding. So UCLA, in my opinion, at the very least, has to play through to Saturday.
This is a
2 wins, 1 loss.
29.
I think that would be enough to get them as high a seed as possible. But yeah, it's on them to set forth their path. Although probably like previous seasons, they might get screwed again. They have a favorable seeding, but then they'll probably be sent to like Orlando or wherever these other first weekend sites are. So yeah, UCLA just has to do everything it can just to show that they are worthy of a good seeding and good location. So,
all right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. The tournament ends this Sunday or Saturday. I'm sorry if I missed that.
The Big Ten?
Yeah.
The Big Ten starts today, but UCLA doesn't play until Thursday, and the championship game is on Sunday.
Sunday, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So we'll see it on Sunday.
Yeah, with selection Sunday as well.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's big time. So I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Mikey, I think that wraps it up for men's pretty well. What do you want to say about our Big Ten tournament champion women and all that jazz that we didn't already say with Nancy?
Yeah, well, just really quickly, just going back to the men's again, just to quickly recap what they did. That game against Nebraska, that was pretty resilient game as they bounced back from that Minnesota game, because that Minnesota game was just rough. It's like, again, and I'm not going to put this on travel or time or whatever. These dudes are adults. They know what they have to do. If you have to get up for a 9 a.m. Pacific game, then you get up for a 9 a.m. Pacific game and you ball as hardcore as you can. Okay, 11 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, they just struggled. Tyler Bilodeau is always consistent. Someone on Twitter was trying to tell me that Bilodeau is trash, and I'm like, you hold your tongue. Bilodeau has been the saving grace of this team, as well as Sky Clark. But Sky Clark was injured for those several weeks. But having Dent, who has been pretty freaking hot lately, kind of be a no-show. What he did have, I think it was that game where he had like 15 assists. So like stuff like that helps. But then you look at the defense, which just disappeared, and it's like, what the hell? And then you come back home to take on Nebraska, who was number 9 in the nation, I want to say.
Yeah.
And you beat them by 20 points.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, your defense shows up. And yes, it wasn't actually an electric atmosphere at Pauley Pavilion, but you're not going to get that. That cannot be an excuse. Still, you're putting up the points, and then you shut down Nebraska. Follow that up by an 89-68 throttling of USC. And yeah, USC is not good. They've lost. They're going through things right now. They're going through the feels because top players not playing. Eric Musselman's first season at USC. It's actually okay for a first year coach. You got to recruit better and wiser players, but I think he knows what's ahead of him now and what it's like to play in the Big Ten. But woof, that was not a good USC team. I mean, they hung in there. I think it was like around 20-19 early on, and shortly after that, the Bruins just started hitting points. They were, just driving the lane, fast breaks here and there, and it was just a throttling. Side note, this was funny as hell because the game was on FS1, and prior to that, currently we're in World Baseball Classic season or whatever the hell it's called. Panama and Puerto Rico were playing in the game before UCLA at USC on FS1. Well, because it's baseball and crazy stuff like extra innings happened, that baseball game did not end until 30 seconds before halftime of the UCLA USC team. So
Sheesh.
I'm just seeing on social media people are just like, what the hell? What's going on, FS1? Why are you doing this to me? Luckily, I had our old friends Josh Lewin and Tracy Murray to listen to get me through that, because also they said you could watch it on the Fox Sports app, which is absolute trash. But those guys got me through it. And Josh Lewin is just an amazing announcer. He just paints an amazing picture. So he really made it visualize what was going on. And it was just capped off by just an amazing second half by the Bruins. But this is what I'm talking about. UCLA needs to play at this level all the time from now on. And yeah, I got because Twitter is like a trash site. It's a garbage dump sometimes. I said if UCLA played this way all season long, they'd be a top 10 team and would probably get to, at minimum, the Elite Eight. Obviously, Bruin fans were all for that. Trojan fans were like, hey, look at this guy. But I truly believe that this team could go pretty damn far if they were to play, if they were to have played this way all season long. But this isn't bad, because if you get hot at the right time going into the tournament, I mean, look at what Cronin's Final Four team did. They were one of the last 4 in and still got to the Final Four. So hell, anything can happen, but you have to win. You have to get out of that first weekend, or that could be troublesome for Cronin going forward. Because as I've noted previously, other things aren't going that well. So having good production in the NCAA tournament will help Cronin's cause. But yeah, you got to do some damage right now. But yeah, so far this has been a pretty freaking impressive men's basketball team
to end the season. Not all the way through.
Yeah.
Been up and down.
Yeah.
You complain mightily all through the season.
At this point in time.
Yeah.
At this point in time, yes.
So, okay.
So,
all right. Well, there you go, Mikey. Let's play women's.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Meanwhile, we're not waiting for the Big Ten tournament for the ladies. They already did it. And as Nancy was telling us, absolutely just throttled, destroyed, beast mode on,
Jake.
On those Hawkeyes. What? Yeah, you're impressed. So
just absolutely not. But before I get into that really quickly, because the I didn't say this about the men's. Last thing on the men's. Unfortunately, only 2 players. But again, this is what happens when you play well late in the season. You know, Tyler Bilodeau deservedly got an all Big Ten
This is the second time you're pulling back on men's basketball.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to get to this because
you're bringing back men's basketball and talking about a third team selection. It might as well be on the fucking watch list, Mike. Get out of here with that third team selection.
Jake and Donovan Dent was an honorable mention. You know why? Because
and how many points did he score against goddamn Nebraska? Like 4?
Jake, probably.
Yeah. Get out of here with that. Honorable mention. What are we talking about?
Has been the most consistent.
I don't want to hear honorable mention
on this team. This team would be a sub 500 team if it wasn't for Tyler Bilodeau.
If it's some butts were Kenny and nuts,
Tyler, Max Verstappen, Bilodeau his flowers, okay? And now I can transition to a better showing in the All Big Ten postseason awards. Big Ten Player of the Year.
What a shame.
Oh, now we're talking.
Our Lady Lauren Betts,
Straight
just
ball.
an absolute
Just a baller.
dominating performance because she always she also had she won the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. The first time that's happened in Big Ten history.
That's awesome.
Moving forward, as I predicted several months ago, Angela Dugalich, 6th Player of the Year. You're welcome. Big Ten Coach of the Year, Corey Close, who went 18-0, well deserved. All Big Ten first team, Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice.
Go Bruins.
I think Gabriela Jaquez should have been first team, but
Go Bruins, right?
Jaquez and Gianna Neekins, all Big Ten second team. All Big Ten honorable mention, Gianna Neekins, but that was in the coaches awards.
Get out of here with this.
I'm not getting to the chopper. I'm going everything because this is well deserved. Big Ten all defensive team, Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice. Big Ten all freshman team, Sienna Betts.
Bruins.
Sportsmanship honoree, Charlize Leisure Walker.
Bruins.
What is that? 9 Bruins that got awards? Yeah, no, I was not going to skip over this, Jacob, because
Don't you dare.
I mean, aside from not winning freshman of the year, which well deserved to Jazzy Davidson of USC, UCLA almost swept these awards.
That's awesome.
And why not? Because they went 18-0 in the regular season. We're going to talk about this, but they finished with a 31-1 record. So let's get into the Big Ten.
This team delivered.
Yeah, they not only won 30 games for a second year in a row. That's the first time that's happened in program history. UCLA had a weird start to this tournament because they started on Thursday, I believe it was. Friday. The tournament started on Wednesday. They started their first game on Friday because they have the double bye as the number 1 team in the nation in the conference. But the first, second, third, and fourth place teams, they all got double byes. But they got matched up with Washington and had just the most bizarre first quarter, which was turnover laden and just unproductive. It's funny that the Twitter people constantly ask me, what phase are they in? Because I put the 3 phases of UCLA women's basketball. Phase 1, they forget who they are. Phase 2, they remember. Phase 3, destroy. They were stuck in phase 1 for frickin' ever, Jake.
Wow.
They only scored 6 points in that first quarter.
That's rough.
What was that? I think Washington jumped out to a 12. Where is it? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong game, actually. There we go. Washington jumped out to a 15-6 lead, and the way they were playing, I'm like, there's no effing way that UCLA is going to lose in this game and really affect their postseason status. Well, luckily, they hit phase 2 in the second quarter as they outscored Washington 21-9. They eventually ended up winning 78-60 because the Bruins, remembered who they are and started destroying. But yeah, that was just a sloppy, horrible, uncharacteristic first quarter. But luckily they were able to get their mojo back. Lauren Betts kind of had to fuel that push as she had 26 in the game. But everyone kind of slowly got to where they were supposed to be. Again, I guess better late than never. But dear God, why do you got to do us like that? UCLA women's basketball. Saturday, they're in the semifinal game, and it was apparent that UCLA was at the very least in the driver's seat, holding Ohio State at arm's length, and yeah, they just outscored them every game, every quarter except the last. Ohio State outscored them 22-20, but by then UCLA was already up by 20, 72. Sorry, up by 10, 72 to 60-10 win. So in those two games, you're looking at what's going to happen in the finals, in the championship game, and you're like, okay, these Big Ten teams have come to play. They're not messing around. So I thought it was going to be a much closer game than it was against Iowa, who did play UCLA pretty tough this year, but were not one of the teams that beat them by less than 10 points or got beaten by less than 10 points. Well, damn, what the hell? This was just an insane. There are just no words. It's like UCLA just kept putting up point after point after point. 3-pointer here, 3-pointer there. UCLA throttled Iowa in the first quarter. They hit phase 3 pretty freaking quickly. UCLA led 22-5 in the first freaking quarter. Outscored them again in the second, 20-15, and they went up. Was at 42-21. Clearly, this was all UCLA. Oh, they weren't done though. They had 22 points in the first, 20 in the second. They had 25 in the third and 29 in the fourth quarter. They were not done. They were. If any team had stepped on the gas and had found a way to put the pedal through the floor to go even faster, it was UCLA in the second half. They just could not be stopped. Like, I almost felt bad for Iowa, almost, but the Bruins just putting everything on Iowa. A 51-point win, 96-45, and it was just, you just saw the Bruins just hit shot after shot after shot. And when was it? I think it was in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I looked at the UConn score, and they were beating whoever team they were playing by 30 points. I'm like, hey, that's cool. They're beating. They were playing Creighton, but Creighton is something like 86 in the net rankings. Iowa is 8th in the net rankings, and UCLA at that point was beating them by 30.
Yeah.
Well, they continued that onslaught and beat them by 51. So that's going to lead into my next topic. We'll get to that soon about who should be the overall number 1 seed. But dear God, that was just an amazing performance.
Does it really matter who the number 1 seed is?
It matters to me, Jake.
Why?
Number 1 in my heart. Number 1 in my heart.
That's
number
fine.
1 in the rankings.
But like
Number
theoretically, if you're 1 or 2, theoretically, if you're 1 or 2, you're supposed to make the same game, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Would you rather go into the championship game as something to prove? Oh my gosh, chip on their shoulder. I can't believe they didn't rate us number 1, and now we're taking on these chicks from UConn, and like let's hammer them down. Their stupid undefeated record and blow that shit up. Or would you rather go in there, given the number 1 seed at the last second, and now UConn's like, we were wire to wire. We never lost a game. These chicks lost a game, and it's not our fault they lost a game, but they did, so that's why we were number 1, and now we have something to prove. Da, 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 da. What do you think, Mike?
Yes. Oh, yeah, totally. That would be awesome, especially to shut up UConn fans. Is, oh, my God, how I've discovered a faction of fans that might be more annoying than Arizona basketball fans and USC football fans.
Wow. Are you telling me that something from the Northeast is obnoxious?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
Right?
Yeah, seriously. And I love
obnoxious
New
people
England.
up there, man.
I love Connecticut. I mean, it's as big as LA County.
Have you ever been to Connecticut? I've never actually.
I have not. I've heard good things. I've been to Massachusetts.
Oh yeah. F Boston.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But wow, they got some sassy folk up there. But also, I wouldn't. Oh God, no! Jake, it's me.
No, I'm just saying, like, you like to mix it up on the Twitter. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if UCLA wasn't going up against it, but at the same time, I put this article out, a case for UCLA being the NCAA tournament's number one seed. And I gave facts. I gave a lot of facts. It was almost annoying because I looked deep into opponent schedules, the net rankings of teams both UCLA and UConn have beat, stuff like that. I really went into it and gave several excellent points about why UCLA should be the overall number one seed. But my thing is like at one point UCLA has one loss, UConn has 0 losses. At what point does that one loss become more important than 18 UCLA quad one wins, as opposed to 8 quad one wins for UConn? How is UCLA's 12-1 record against the top 25 not as good as UConn's 5-0? Yeah. That was part of my argument. It's like, yes, they have one loss, but you've got to look at the wins and the quality of the wins.
Okay, and I totally get that.
That's all.
But at the same time,
also it's just me being sassy too.
No, of course, and I get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, they didn't lose, and so that is theirs to claim a little bit. And it's like these seedings are a little bit, when we're talking about the football rings and all that stuff, I'm always like, well, let's just deal with it on the field. And if they ain't lost and they played, not the same schedule, a much, weaker schedule and all that stuff. I get what you're saying, Mike. I totally do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a schedule in Division I, they still played that and they played in that conference, right? So I'm okay with this, and it doesn't burn me as much as it burns you, Mike. And it's okay that it burns you. I'm just saying this, I differ on this opinion. And still,
I really don't care.
I kind of like the idea, Mike. You've talked about it every effing week for 3 months, bro. You effing care. Don't try that shit with me, bro.
I do.
Absolutely care. But
I do.
And I'm not saying that you're not making a very legitimate argument, because you are. Like, who do I think is the number one team in the country? Absolutely, it's the UCLA Bruins. Absolutely. Yeah. But because of that little hiccup against Texas, that's I'm okay with the powers that be justifying UConn as well. And I think it's actually to our fine players' advantage, in that it gives them like they need a chip on their shoulder, right? They don't. They're playing their butts off, and they've been playing their butts off all year. But I'd rather them have the opportunity to have the little chip on their shoulder than not. And this gives them a little bit of it. Not that necessarily is going to make a difference at all at the end. But if it does, I'd rather have it going this way than that way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's going to be interesting to see what goes on. This Sunday is Selection Sunday. I will be at.
That's all I know. Are you going to be there?
I will be there for the selection show party, as I have been the last two years. I don't know if the men's are going to do that, but at the same time, we have such an amazing crew at Bruin 24/7. A couple of us will probably take on the women's party while going, and at the very least, we'll be able to interview both coaches. So we're definitely going to have all that content on Sunday. So yeah, this is going to be a very exciting Sunday. Hell, I mean, if UCLA is in the championship game, they're not even going to be back in Westwood. So, that would suck to not be able to interview them live, but we understand why, because they made if that was the case, they would have made an excellent run in the Big Ten tournament, which would help their seeding. So, but either way, the women are off this week, so I'll be there at Mo Austin Center and reporting live from Westwood.
That's really cool, Mike. That's a fun opportunity. I'm glad you get to do it again. How do you feel about the week off for women's basketball versus men's?
It's weird. I mean, and I get it too, because you kind of want to shuffle the tournaments, but at the same time, the women's was in Indiana, the men's is in Chicago. It could happen, but at the same time, every women's team is off this week, recuperating, rehabilitating, getting some rest before they find out where they're going to go. So this will be it'll be a good week for UCLA to just settle down and try to focus on what's next. So
outstanding. No, that's cool. All right, good. Mike, do you have anything else on the round ball?
Well, about the men's basketball, no, I'm just kidding. No, I think God, Jim. No, this is just the best time of the year, except for the start of football. And yeah, I can't wait, because especially now that the men's team has some momentum going forward, and then you have the women's team who are going to be a number 1 seed. There's a lot of good things going on in Westwood right now. And then, it's quiet on the football front, but there's just a lot of positivity. So right now, this is a good time for UCLA sports, as long as the men don't F it up in the tournament.
And we're still a couple weeks out from football camp, yes?
Yes, about a month out, yeah.
Do you know how you're going to be covering that?
I'm going to be going to the first day. I believe that's Thursday, April 2nd. And probably right after that, I'm going to be skedaddling down to Phoenix if everything plays out right. So yeah, hopefully I will be covering 2 games down in Phoenix for the women.
That'd be super cool.
And yeah, so the Connor and Jack, they will probably be covering spring ball. So we got all our bases covered, so we're good.
Very good. All right, cool. Well, let's spend just a couple of moments talking about a couple of the spring sports that are going on. I want to talk baseball and softball real quick. Baseball, number 1 in the country. Other than a couple games against San Diego teams, the stupid Tritons and the stupid Aztecs, they're undefeated and still doing well. They have a series against Michigan coming up, starting on the 13th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Jagger Robinson Stadium. So that'll be on Big Ten Plus as well. So if you want to see UCLA's number 1 ranked baseball team savagely taking on the Big Ten, go watch that or go down to Jagger Robinson. Mike, you haven't caught any baseball yet, have you?
Not yet. I'm just so swamped with covering 2 basketball teams. When college basketball's over, I'll turn my attention to softball and baseball. But yeah, so far from what I'm seeing, I'm still in the know of what's going on. And my gosh, this UCLA baseball team just has an incredible amount of offense. Defense could do with a little bit more. And the softball team, they've had a few games where they've struggled. Pitching, kind of an issue, but again, they have some solid batters. But hopefully by the end of the season for baseball and softball, this all
I'm not used to seeing
this
UCLA
so.
softball with scores that they're giving up 10 runs, 12 runs, 8 runs, 9 runs. That's a little unusual for me. But still, they're 21-3. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Okie State. They dropped one other game in there somewhere. But tomorrow, Wednesday night, maybe tonight as you're listening to this, but on Wednesday night at 6 p.m., they have LA Softball Day at Easton, and they're going to be taking on LMU. So if you have a chance to get out there and watch the ladies perform, go watch the softball team, and that will be some fun time will be had by all, as always. And we hope that they finish their season strong as well. All right, Mike. Well, I mean, do you have anything else to talk about?
Just really, now that you bring it up, just really quickly, where is it? Men's volleyball has been killing it. Hey, you're the one that brought up the non-revenue sports, bro.
That is true.
But men's volleyball, as Leo said, he's heading out to Hawaii to check out the men's volleyball team, which has just been entertaining as F. Right now they are 16-0, 5-0. Number 1 ranked team. So they're just killing it right now. So they're on track to potentially get another NCAA championship, which is, I think it's about time for volleyball.
Very
water
exciting.
polo, I love water polo. Keep getting the championships, but I think other teams other than water polo need to step up. I'm just saying.
And we hope Leo has a great trip out there.
Whatever, bro.
You don't?
Yeah, we
you
do.
don't want Leo to? Not very nice, Mike.
No, I do. I mean, I'm just. It's more a jealousy thing that he's going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
This weekend. Have fun, dude. Have fun. And again, this is a really fun time to be a UCLA fan right now. So
that's right. Well, good. Let's see.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah.
Mike, what's wrong with you?
Not much. The kids and I were just like out and about. I've had to like do some like home redecorating and stuff. So we went out to the IKEA in West Covina to try to get some stuff. What else happened? I got a punching bag finally because I wanted to teach the kids, some moves, some maybe combos.
Nice.
I hate the fact that as a dad, I have to think about them potentially defending themselves, but I'd rather have them do that than not know. So yeah, we were hitting the bag this weekend. But yeah, just covering the games. The kids were all into it.
Are you teaching them Rex Kwando? Mike Kwando?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I did take Kung Fu for 2 years. So.
There you go.
So at the very least, I'm just showing them like little strikes here and there and blocking, deflection, stuff like that. But actually to have something that you can punch so that they can actually feel the motion of it and the resistance, that was an eye opener for them, but they're really excited about it.
That's outstanding.
What the hell else did I do? Did a lot of stuff, but yeah, we're just all over the place. Oh my God, my heart melted because my daughter Poppy's basketball season ended 2-3 weeks ago. And she was like, Dad, can we go play basketball? I'm like, oh, do you want to learn some more? Do you want to give us some more skills? She's like, no, I just don't want to be out of practice. I'm like, oh, damn, that's forward thinking right there. So yeah, so we went out there and I am sore still. This was 2 days ago. Everything from my waist down is sore. My ankles and knees hate me right now. But it was fun to go out there and, play some basketball, except it was freaking 90 degrees. What the hell's with this weather, Jake? It's supposed to be like, it's probably going to be like 100 degrees where you are this weekend. This sucks. It's March.
Yeah,
I want my 70-degree weather.
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, we just had a fun time, doing chores and running errands and stuff like that. But yeah, what's wrong with you?
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, this last weekend was busy in that we had first Grizzly football game. We got murdered. It was sad, worst loss in our history, but we took the field again for the first time in a couple of years. Nice. But the headline for that for me was number one, I had the Twins out there with me as the sideline crew, so that was fun. We had a good day out there.
Oh, nice.
And while we were out there, we also planned a barbecue we're going to have this weekend with some ribs. So that's what we're working on, and that's going well. And then I'll be in Texas next week for the Grizzlies' second game. So, Mike, we might have to talk about whether or not I'll be on the show next week or not, because it's going to be a busy week. But
we'll figure it out.
But we'll figure it out. And yeah, other than that, things are things, and just kind of trying to keep it moving, keep it going. That's about all there is, I guess. Malcolm's running track too, and he's doing good. But Mike,
what's up?
What? I don't know. I guess you might be doing this solo next week. We'll find out. We'll see how the Bruins do for the tournament selection shows, and you're going to bring the people that perspective. I love that. And then beyond that, we'll be back for the NCAA tournament. Yeah, I'd say we're going to do a tournament challenge, but even if we did, we probably wouldn't give a prize. I think I still owe a prize for the last year's winner. And if you are last year's winner, hit me up. I'll send you something, maybe just something from my garage. But who knows? I don't like welching on bets. It's purely an oversight on my part, but I'd love to correct it.
Yeah.
If we do want to get a tournament thingy going, one of our dear listeners that's on the Slack or whatever, hit me up or whatever, do that. Now that I'm back on Slack, even though I still haven't looked at any messages. Hi, Jack. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Dave. Hi, everybody else. I love you all dearly. But anyways, Mike, that's it for the show. So we'll see you next week. And until next time, Mike, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.